Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Here is where I love to share with you how to do home decor DIYs on a really teeny tiny budget. It can be anywhere from farmhouse to boho inspired, trash to treasure, you name it. I love doing it and I just love sharing it with you. And also, you guys also know that I love doing some dollar store hauls for you, just so you guys know what I like to purchase and what I use for my crafts as well. So anyway, that being said, this video is going to be more about farmhouse home decor, and I made this more for our spare bathroom, the one that I'm trying to fix up. In one of the DIY videos that I had in the past, I had revamped our bathroom counter a little bit. So now I'm just kind of looking at the walls and trying to change things around on those because they're pretty bare right now and I don't have any artwork on there. And you know, again, I go to HomeSense and look online, Amazon, to find wall hangings and whatnot. But then I was thinking about a couple of things and I'm like, I'm just gonna make my own because again, it's cost efficient, very budget friendly. And the items that I'm going to share with you today, you can find these type of items at HomeSense or whatnot between, I don't know, I want to say like between $20 to $30, $40. And these two items are under $10 total. So I'm super excited to show you guys. So anyway, for those of you guys who are new to my channel, welcome. And for those of you who are already subscribed, thank you so much for joining my channel. I am so excited to have you guys part of my channel as well. And that being said, guys, why don't we just go ahead and jump right into the tutorial. We'll see you in a bit.
So I bought these 4 picture frames from the Dollar Tree, and I just went ahead and took out the backing and the glass in each frame. So now I'm just going to line up all the frames together like this in a bigger frame, and I'm just going to hot glue each piece together. Now my thoughts are I'm not going to be using the glass in the frames. I'm just going to leave it like this. You'll see later on the final result. But if you wanted the glass in the frames and you wanted something a little bit more permanent, I would say use industrial glue as well. So along with like E6000 or Gorilla Glue along with your hot glue gun. That way it just gives it more stability, because again, these are dollar store frames, so they are a little bit more flimsy, and you just definitely, I feel like if you have the glass in it, it just makes it a little heavier, but I swear the E6000 or Gorilla Glue would work perfectly with the hot glue gun to give you a more permanent seal. So now I'm just going to take these popsicle sticks that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I just want to hot glue a few of them to the back, just basically over where I hot glued the frames together, just again to give it a little bit more stability and support. Now I'm just going to take my needle nose pliers and just remove the little fasteners that come in the frame to hold the glass. I didn't want those because I knew they were going to just scratch the wall at whatever I hung it on. So go ahead and take them out. They do come out fairly easily, but you may notice that it might break a little bit of the frame in certain spots, but don't worry, the frame is still sturdy. Now I'm just taking these wood stakes that I got from the Dollarama, and I'm just going to line them up. I'm just going to give the frame a little bit more detail. So what I loved about these stakes is that they already had a point on one side, so very easy to line up on the frame. So you'll see here just lining everything up. And then I'm just going to use my pencil just to mark off where I need to cut on the other side, just so it doesn't overhang over the frame. So once you've lined everything up, you can go ahead and use your scissors. Very easy to do. I mean, there is a little bit of give, so you just might have to give a little bit of force, but they do cut fairly well. You could also use your saw if you have one as well. But anyway, I'm just using my scissors, super simple. So you'll see here that I already hot glued the stakes to the frame. I just wasn't sure what color I was going to use for the frame. I thought I was just going to spray paint everything black. However, I thought, you know what, I wanted to give the wood stakes a little bit of a darker wood stain. So I actually removed the stakes, and here you see I'm just giving the stakes a coat of brown acrylic paint. So while the stakes are drying, I'm using this wreath form that I got from the Dollar Tree. I just found it because it was a little bit light and I wanted it to blend in with the stakes that I am gluing to the frame. So I'm just going to do the same thing with the wreath and just put on the wood stain. Now it doesn't go super dark, I find, on the wreath, but that's fine. I just wanted it to be a little bit darker than what it was because it is fairly light color. So again, I just wanted to darken it a little bit in order to match the stakes just a bit more. So you see here, I turned off the light so you could see a little bit more of the color. Now I already had some of this boxwood from the dollar store, so I'm just going to cut up a few of the pieces and I'm going to hot glue all of these pieces all over the frame, as you see that I'm doing here. So here's the wreath all finished. Now I just liked the boxwood. You guys can go ahead and do whatever you like with your wreath with the boxwood. You can also add some flowers in there as well to make it look pretty. Do what you like. Now here I've hot glued the stakes to the frame. See, I feel like I like this way better than just if I were to spray paint it all black. So anyway, I'm taking this nail kit that I got from the Dollarama and I'm just going to use one of the nails to put into the frame. So just gonna, I guess, indicate where I want to put the frame. Now I'm not going to nail or hammer the nail into the middle of the frame where I glued it because I don't want it to break. So I'm actually hammering it in to the frame itself on one side. Now I couldn't find my hammer, so I just used a dowel that I had. Whatever, it still worked just as well. So here it is, all hung. So you'll see the final results in just a second. So here it is, just on our bathroom wall where I wanted it. So again, you'll see at the very end, I'll display it a little bit with a few more things as well. But here it is, just up on our bathroom wall. I thought it turned out really well. I'm happy that I did the stakes the brown instead of black. And moving on to the second DIY, I'm taking this basket that I got from the Dollar Tree. I showed you guys in one of my hauls. So couldn't find a black one. So since it's blue, I went ahead and spray painted it black. So here it is, all black and ready to go. And I just loved this basket because it totally reminded me of those tobacco baskets that you see everywhere. Anyway, so I went ahead and printed out this farm fresh picture from Google Images, and I'm just using a piece of poster board as well, just to give it a little bit more of a firmer background. So I'm just going to line everything up at the bottom of the basket so I kind of know what size to cut the paper and fit it in the basket perfectly. So here I'm just tracing out the size of the paper that I want to cut out on the poster board. And I'm just going to use my Fiskars paper cutter to cut everything and line everything up. So just using my glue stick to glue the papers together. Now I'm just going to hot glue the paper to the bottom of the basket. So I'm not going to add a lot of hot glue, just add a little bit in a few spots of the basket because you don't want also the paper to bubble. Not that it will, but you know, if you put a lot of glue, it just doesn't look good. So just a little bit goes a long way, especially because it is a plastic basket. What's great about this basket, you could just leave that as is, or I'm just going to jazz it up a bit more with some more greenery. I already had this lavender on hand, so I didn't really have to spend more money on this, if you want to say that. Now I'm just using some of my floral wire, and I'm just going to connect the flowers together so that way they're not going to separate easily. And using a bit more of the floral wire, I'm going to actually, instead of hot gluing, again, if you don't want something permanent and you want to change it up later on for the seasons or whatnot, I'm just using some floral wire to attach it to the basket. So you'll see here, I'm just doing a twist tie motion in order to tie the flowers to the basket. And just jazzing it up a bit more. I'm taking this burlap ribbon that I got from the Dollarama, just taking the larger size out of the package and just going to make a simple bow and attach it to the flowers. And just loving the fact that you never really waste a lot of products. So when I cut off the excess ribbon, I basically will use that spare piece to add to the center of the bow in order to cover the floral wire as well, just to make it look a lot nicer and cleaner looking. Oh my gosh, guys, I had so much fun doing these farmhouse DIYs. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Look, you'll see the 2 candlesticks. I remember I bought the 3 from the Dollar Tree. I just put 2 together to make 1 tall and 1 small, just using some flameless candles. And voila, here is the final results. Total farmhouse DIYs. Anyway, guys, go ahead and subscribe and give it a big thumbs up. And I will definitely see you guys at my next video. Take care.